Morning, Asa. It will be Friday. If I have a Raspberry Pi, I can put a program on it that will let me control my printer over the internet, which sounds like a gimmick, and I promise it's not. And I also promise that's not just because I can't find the USB stick. No, of course, all those reasons make too much sense, which is why I am doing it for the pure reason that I should be able to get amazing time-lapse photos if I use a USB camera with it. First, you download the Raspberry Pi Imager. You're going to want your OS of choice to be Octopi. Then you want to mosey on over to the Wikipedia tab you forgot you had open for a town called Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, which you thought was a dumb name made by some motor company, but it turns out it was actually from a long, long time ago when a bunch of wagon makers moved there. Well, I'm waiting for all that to download. I'm looking around the printer, and I'm not seeing a good place to put this. Maybe there, but it might overheat. On the ground, that seems lame as heck. Then you eject the memory, because I swear some of you think you are so funny and quirky by never ejecting your mass storage device. Slam this disk into this hole, and hopefully it works when you plug it in with the power. So we did it. This Raspberry Pi, when booted, should hopefully be able to run 3D printers and wireless be told what to put in the printer. It should then also give me feed out and readouts, and theoretically I can plug in a camera to it to see what the prints are. Not gonna lie, this has seemed too easy. I've got the Raspberry Pi hooked up here. This is the length of my cord to plug in there. I'm in. So it has enough power. I'm logged on to the Pi from my computer. All right, I've reached the Pi. I have an account made up, and now I'm going to plug the Pi into the printer and see if we can get it to work. Tucked away. Not seeing a card, but I might still be able to connect to the Pi and tell it, hey, just forward something to it. So now we run back to my room, go to the interface, see if it sees the printer, and try and connect. Can't get this to connect. Well, Asa, taking a break. Pi is underpowered. I've got a lab class that I'm headed to. But just about does it that I'd record everything that goes well, and then the minute I stop recording, stuff goes bad. All right, Asa, so I even plugged my computer directly into that thing, the printer thing. That's the printer thing, and it still doesn't see it. Which makes me think there's something wrong with the printer's USB port. So, this is the USB port right there. And this top shield is the shield I want to take off. I've also noticed something weird. When I move this bed, this fan will spin, but I don't know why that is. I don't know if, like, let's get this off. So that's the micro port. And that's it on this side. At first glance, it looks pretty okay. Did in fact get it hooked up to my computer. I borrowed a cord from Ryan, so I think that might have been the issue, is I just need a new cable. And I'm gonna tell it to start heating up the extruder, and it looks like the extruder is actually heating up, which is very impressive. The problem with that is that I wasn't using a data micro USB cable to go from the Pi that's now behind the printer to the 3D printer. I have sliced up some cool new parts. So this is cool because, so this is what my camera sees. And the camera is right there on the printer. A very cool tool that shows me what the print will do. So that's what the bottom layer will look like, and then it shows me as I go up what's being printed. It's definitely printing, and it looks like it's sticking, so we'll see. Yeah, so I think the plan now is to print a bunch of improvements to the printer. So right now this will be a camera mount, and then later I'll do a bunch of like fan shields and stuff. One more check to make sure the parts are looking somewhat good. I mean, those look like parts that are flat. I think I just wait now. So in my attempt to get the Raspberry Pi to work, I needed to call in reinforcements. It's you. You came with cables and stuff is hooked up, but I need to frickin' let the Pi see, but I need to make sure the Pi can see through the camera, so we're doing that quick. So for some reason, I can see the video stream, it just won't appear in the Octoprint thing. So Asa, your visit proved to be very fruitful. I'm starting to print these chains that we'll see in a bit. But like we also got our first time lapse. That was time-lapsey. This is the arm that's taking video of the print. We'll see how it turns out. Alrighty, so I think that's about it. That time lapse I thought looked really good. I wouldn't say it's perfect yet. At this point, this video's purpose is done, which is I figured out how to get my Raspberry Pi and the internet to run my printer, and also so I can take cool time lapses. And now that I'm there, I think that's about it for today. Alrighty, so I'll see you on Wednesday.